G'day folks, what you're looking at here is a bunch of nice knotty pine that we're going to be converting into a bunch of modules. 4 for Peter, 4 for Tom, and 2 for Paul. And we're going to try and videotape this process over the next number of days and weeks. So let's get ready for the first step. The first step in building modules is to take our lumber. In this case our lumber is 1x4, 6 feet long, and square off the end, so we bring the blade down, press the wood against the blade so that the blade flexes a little bit, and that just gives us a nice little cut on the end. We got some fuzzies where the saw blade went through, so we're going to sand off the fuzzies with our sanding block. That end's done, so now we're going to flip it end for end. And in this case we've got a knot that's in the way, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut that knot out. So we get it in line, press it up, and there we cut the knot out. Again, sand off the fuzzies. And here we've got ends that are nice and clean and square, ready for fabricating further. So there we go. The lumber has all been squared off. The 16 pieces on the left, the 1x4, that's for Tom and Peter. The 4 pieces in the middle here, the 1x5, is for Paul. And the pieces on the right, 1x2s, are for the middle cross members on the modules that we're going to make. Next step is to cut the 6-foot length, or slightly shorter than 6-foot length, lumber into the bits and pieces that we need to make the module frame. Our modules are going to be 2 feet by 4 feet, and so we're going to need 2 pieces for the sides that are 4 feet long. However, we've got to account for the thickness of those side pieces that are 3/4 of an inch thick. So from the 24 inches we subtract 3/4 of an inch for one side piece and 3/4 of an inch for the other side piece, and that indicates that our end pieces will be 22.5 inches long. So what we've done, we've set up a stop on our miter saw, and so now we're ready to cut the first piece at 22.5 inches, and because of the stop block that we've set up, that will facilitate the cutting. So we're ready to go for the first cut. And we bring the saw down to make sure that we're right on the target. Just to make sure, let's measure this. We're exactly at 22.5 inches. So let's carry on with the rest of the cutting for the 22.5 inch pieces. As we cut each piece, we want to make sure that there's no knots or imperfections in the wood where we're going to cut. And in this case, we've got a knot that's going to be pretty close to the end, so we're going to flip the piece end for end. We've got a nice clear cut here. Now as we've cut each piece, as before, we take our sanding block and we get rid of the fuzzies on each end. And we do that on both pieces. Saves us lots of trouble later on. Sometimes we'll end up with knots and imperfections that are too close to the end. So what we do is we're going to flip the piece of wood end for end. So we're going to have pieces at the end that are going to be scrap, so we want to include things like this knot into the scrap rather than in as part of the module frame. So we flip it end for end, past our stop block, take a look, and we're good here. Let's cut the piece. Once again, we take our sanding block and sand the ends of the fuzzies, similarly with both pieces. So we're about 2/3 of the way through cutting up our lumber. And again, we're going to sand off the fuzzies. Periodically, we're going to make sure that our stop block here is still at 22.5 inches. Take out our tape measure and measure it out, and we're right on the mark. Let's keep on going. The noise you can hear in the background is the chainsaw. Somebody's building modules using a chainsaw. Wish them lots of luck. So here we are, we're in the home stretch now, and we're cutting up 1x2s. In this case, we're going to make 2 cuts with the 1x2s to get 2 pieces that are 22.5 inches long. With a small piece of scrap left over. And as before, we're going to lightly get rid of those crumbs on the end of each cut. And on to the next piece. So we're now ready to cut the pieces that are going to be 4 feet long. You see we've set up a little bit of a stop block at the back end there to measure 48 inches. And up here, we're ready to start. The start piece is the end of a knot. So we've got it at the end that we're going to cut off. Let's check our measurements to make sure that we're at 48 inches. And we're right on the money. Again, we take our sanding block. Sand off the fuzzies. On to the next piece. So here it is. It's about an hour and a half later with frequent pauses, and our material is all cut up. In the back we have 1x4s, 4 feet long and 22.5 inches long. In the middle you've got some 1x5s, again 4 feet long and 22.5 inches. And in the front we've got middle cross members, 22.5 inches. And over here on the right is our pile of scrap. Not exactly a lot, is it? So we're going to need some pieces of 1x2, 4 inches long. We're going to be installing some Digitrax UP5 panels on the modules, plus some telephone jacks. And so we want to use these blocks to provide protection when the modules are moved and manhandled. So these 4-inch blocks will be used to keep the fingers away from the delicate wires. That saw blade is going to be kind of close to my fingers, not a good idea. So I'm going to use this stick to keep my fingers away from the blade.